According to the White House's own numbers, for every week that the government is shut down, the economy loses $15 billion. To be clear, nobody wants that. The only people who are happy with the shutdown right now are people like Russ Vought, Trump's budget director and the architect of Project 2025, who was just itching to fire a bunch of federal workers. But while the country suffers, instead of coming to the table to negotiate and end the shutdown, Republicans are AWOL. Most of them aren't even in Washington, D.C. They left town and seem content to let the days go by, even as more and more Americans receive notices that their monthly healthcare premiums are about to go through the roof. Senator Raphael Warnock showed us what one constituent sent to him.
So, folks, this is what the current fight is all about. Nobody wants to shut down, at least I don't. I don't want to shut down. But what I also don't want is for people in Georgia that I represent to lose their health care because it's simply unaffordable. Let me show you what I mean. In 2025, this family of four in Chatham County, where I grew up, paid $559.69 per month for the lowest cost option. That's the lowest cost. Family of four, $559.69 a month. Now look at this. Because of Republicans' cuts to health care last summer, the same family will have to pay $2,131.65 for the lowest cost option. You tell me how an ordinary working family in Georgia is supposed to afford that. Republicans did this. And right now, they won't reopen the government because they're fighting for this. Well, I'm not fighting for Georgians to have their health care premiums quadrupled. I'm fighting to extend their health care and to reopen the government. My Republican colleagues ought to join me.
That's what Democrats are fighting for. We're fighting for critical tax credits to bring down the cost of healthcare. Our friends at Midas Touch ran the numbers, and to put it into perspective, a couple making $80,000 a year in Speaker Mike Johnson's district in Louisiana would see their healthcare costs more than triple without action, from $540 a month to more than $2,000 for the same plan. That's what's at stake. And until Republicans get serious and work with Democrats to prevent these out-of-control cost increases, the economy will continue to lose $15 billion a week. By the way, we would have a clearer picture of how the economy continues to get worse under Trump, but most of the staff at the Bureau of Labor Statistics is on furlough, which means that until the government reopens, the monthly jobs report and the inflation report are on ice. And we're left with the Secretary of Labor doing TV hits to spin how bad the vibes are.
Listen, we saw the ADP numbers come out. They weren't the best, but we see the momentum because all indicators of this economy is that it is going to keep growing.
I'm Hannah Moldavan, Deputy Communications Director for the Democrats, and your host for today. It's Tuesday, October 7th, day 7 of the Republican government shutdown, and this is the Democrats' Daily Blueprint. Yesterday, we went into how Trump is politicizing the National Guard and deploying it on American streets against the will of the people and democratically elected governors. Needless to say, J.B. Pritzker in Illinois pulled no punches.
Donald Trump's deranged depiction of Chicago as a hellhole, a war zone, and the worst and most dangerous city in the world was just complete BS. He clearly has decided to declare war on a great American city that has the lowest homicide rate in 60 years.
That's the energy that Democrats are bringing to this fight, because two things can be true at the same time. Trump can be using the National Guard for political reasons to distract from his failed leadership. And those same deployments can be a dramatic example of government overreach and abuse of power. Look, Democrats are the party of keeping communities safe, from Baltimore to Cleveland and beyond. Local leaders and Democratic mayors are investing in violence prevention and driving crime to historic lows. And no matter how much bluster we hear from Trump and Pete Hegseth and Kristi Noem, you don't make neighborhoods safer by declaring war on the American people. And you certainly don't do whatever this is.
Last week, federal agents dressed in camouflage gear conducted a military-style raid on an apartment building in South Shore, a neighborhood of Chicago. They brought Black Hawk military helicopters and more than 100 agents in full tactical gear. Even though it was supposedly a very dangerous and important mission, they brought dozens of cameras and set them up so that they could film their attack on the building in HD for social media.
Republicans abuse their power across the country. Democrats are standing up and focused on winning elections. Here at the Daily Blueprint, we're highlighting 60 candidates in 60 days before the November election. And with exactly 1 month until Election Day, we're shining a spotlight on Maureen Rowan, a respected and accomplished trial attorney for over 3 decades, who is running to represent District 2 in the New Jersey General Assembly. Not only is Maureen a talented lawyer, she was also a business owner as the owner and managing partner of her firm. Maureen is committed to leveraging her advocacy skills and business expertise to work for the people of Atlantic County in the state legislature and ensure that their rights, needs, and interests are always protected and prioritized. To sign up and make calls, knock doors, and volunteer with the Rowan campaign, go to maureenrowannj.org. You can find the link in our video description below. Thanks for joining us today for this episode of the Daily Blueprint. We'll be here right with you every weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern on the DNC's YouTube page. Until tomorrow.